Welcome to the Acquired Taste Media Podcast. Tonight we have Ray the Shark, entrepreneur, show promoter, all around stand-up guy for the city of Cleveland and all points beyond. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? What we doing?
Hey, man, we chilling, man. Yo, thank you for stopping by the podcast, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. Oh, no doubt, man, no doubt. So, you know, this is my man right here. We go back at least 10 years, 10, 11 years, man. For those who's not familiar with...
Shit, I think about 15.
Yeah, could be.
Because, matter of fact, I think...
OPN?
Yeah, I think I bumped into you right before we got the OPN Center.
Right.
So, we got that. And we got the center in 2013. We was doing shows 2010.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
When I first started throwing my own show.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've been doing that for a long ass time.
Right,
15,
right.
16 years.
So, you know, we're talking about the OPN, man. So, for those that's uninitiated, man, just, you know, tell people about the OPN, you know, just, you know, a brief, you know, summary of the movement. Real quick.
I'm going to try to be as brief as possible with you.
It's a lot.
But it's basically, it's an organization full of people who want to do community work and give back. So that's about as brief as I can make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So things we do is community give backs, like book bags and school supply drives.
Clothing drives.
Yeah, clothing drive, feed like the homeless and stuff whenever you get a chance. And just little stuff like that. We've been doing that since 2008.
Right. Shout out to Ern,
Yeah,
Chairman Ern.
But he was actually the one that initiated everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it just went off from there.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, like I said before, entrepreneur, show promoter. You know, tell us about the businesses that you run.
All right, so I do my first business I ever did was the shows. So I did. I started off. I guess I don't really consider myself a promoter. I really consider myself more in marketing because I basically start from scratch. A lot of people don't know what marketing and promotion like the difference. So promotion is a part of marketing, but marketing is actually putting everything together and making it come to life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you do that too. So
Right.
You know what I mean?
You definitely understand it, but you know, for the people that don't,
for the people
you know,
who don't, they just call me a promoter.
Right.
Because a promoter is just
come on out to the
somebody got
spot.
something going on. I'm telling you about this. Marketing is me putting it together, promoting it, putting out info, flyers, and just getting people to come. You know what I'm saying? Making commercials if needed, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever is needed for promotion and marketing. Like, there's different ways to market.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell us about the biggest show you did.
The biggest show I did?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I don't know. I mean, they all be.
Or let me put it like this: the most memorable. Right now, I think you guys did a show down in North Carolina last year.
Oh yeah. We did. Yeah, North Carolina. I mean, most of them be dope. So it's like, but North Carolina was dope. I did fuck with that. That was awesome. Because I've never been there. That's actually South Carolina. So what we did that day was a 2-day thing. We did South Carolina one night, and then the very next day we did a promo run in North Carolina.
Right.
At the Dreamville Festival. We was out there. And we did our publicity promotion.
Okay.
Get our name out a little bit. And then we came back to Cleveland. And I drove straight from there all the way through. We stopped a couple times to stretch, but we was trying to get home. That's a long ass drive. It was about 11 hours, 12 hours.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
So, for the new promoters, that's starting up, man, what's like some of the biggest mistakes that new promoters make that you've seen?
Well, promotion. They don't know how to promote.
Could you elaborate?
Like I said earlier, they don't know the difference between marketing and promotion. And the biggest thing that I think, I'm going to say that I made was sometimes you can over-promote. You can promote too much. And it makes people interested. Because for me, I found it irritating for me. I don't know if everybody feel the same way or not. And I've had my moments of over-promoting. And sometimes it's just, because if you over-promoting, you the only one promoting. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get no one else to promote with you, then it's pointless. Ain't nobody gonna come. You know what I'm saying?
So, how has the Cleveland music scene changed since you started?
Well, you talking about from how I run it, or how just
the scene, just the overall scene,
Cleveland
from when you first started doing shows to now?
What? Ain't really too much of a difference. The only thing that's different is the people throwing shows, the different styles of people throwing shows. Like, 'cause back then, when I first started, it really wasn't that fair for a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists had to pay a lot of money, like hundreds of dollars, like $500-$600 just to throw a show or do a show, to perform at someone else's show.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? And
I remember that. It's like you would charge X amount of dollars, had to sell tickets, and then you didn't sell no tickets. You wouldn't even get on stage or something.
I always bring up like Peabody's, and if you ever perform at Peabody's, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They used to have to do dumb shit like
sell
them tickets and not get a dime. You know what I'm saying? And then like they would try to bait you into saying that you would get a better stage the more money you turn in. So you'll get the big stage if you bring like say 800, you'll get the big stage. But if somebody come behind you and get them 900, now you get knocked down to the smaller stage, the second stage. And then it wouldn't tell you until you get there.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, it wasn't too many opportunities. It was just more of a money grab for a lot of people back then. So now it's a little different, and it's more fair market for the artists.
Could you explain like how more fair it is for the artists besides like, you got to pay X amount of dollars and stuff like that?
They're not forced. Well, I don't know exactly how everybody run their show. I can only talk about mine. So with me and my partner, EDH, North Coast EDH, we basically try to make it as fair as possible. We don't do slot fees, but we actually, at least pay entry, or however we do it. And we got a cash prize or a headline prize. And we don't charge you hundreds of dollars. We don't force you to sell tickets. And we just try to make it as simple as possible and easy for the artist. And that's it.
So how have you guys dealt with last minute cancellations and no shows?
You just gotta deal with it. There's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go cancel, that's what they do. Somebody don't show up. I mean, there's always somebody willing to take their place. Because a lot of times, if artists know that you're doing it, and then they show, sometimes artists show up and they be like, "Can I perform?" I'm like, "Yo, I got an open slot for you. I'll put you there. I'll put you in." And that's it. It ain't no thing, but it's better to actually book ahead of time than just to show up.
Right.
Sometimes I can't put you on because everybody can.
So what role does social media play in your promotion strategy?
I don't pass out physical flyers, so a lot of work is the social media, because you could get to somebody quicker through a DM. You know what I'm saying? Walking up the street trying to get somebody to give them flyers, and then you can never lose a flyer on your social media. You can lose one physically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it plays a part.
At this point in the game, what's your ultimate goal as a show promoter or marketer in Cleveland?
Shit, man, just try to be the best at it, man. You know, I ain't really got no specific thing, but I'm just trying to advance. You know what I'm saying? As best as I can, and stay out the haters' way, man.
I swear.
Stay out the haters' way.
Speaking of which,
snake out here, man.
What's the biggest challenge in putting on events in the city?
It's finding locations that's willing to be fair and work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because once they see that you can bring people, a lot of times they just try to invest in it. Just to, I don't know, make it hard for you. I mean, it's ways around that. You can always find a place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, that actually leads to the next. So, in picking a venue, what's like the thought process in, venue selection?
Will people even come here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the main thing. Would they come to this place, or would they come to this area?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's the main thing.
All right. So, for someone that doesn't live here, that's looking to come into the market, what is like one thing about promoting shows here that somebody from out of town wouldn't expect?
Honestly, I don't know how to answer that because I don't really know nobody out of town.
Okay, so like, what do you think is something that makes this market unique or that stands out from other spots?
I mean, artists is willing to perform. They're willing to book. So you just gotta find. That's gonna be for somebody out of town. The hardest thing to find is the actual artist that's willing to book with you.
Okay. Right. So, besides like marketing shows and stuff, you got your hands in a few other pots.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
I do. Because you did ask me earlier what all the businesses I do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go down the list. So marketing promotion for events, and I also do. I'm also a cannabis vendor. I still do that. I do DJing. Just really got into that like not too long ago, but pretty fair at it, So I do DJing. I got all the equipment and everything.
How did you get into that?
I don't know. I just started doing it.
You just like, I got the equipment.
I was like, you know what? First off, I just didn't want to keep hiring a DJ. So I just learned how to do it. Started buying equipment, and I just taught myself how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it for real. Like, I didn't really have nobody say this, that, whatever. You should do this. It's how you blend something.
Okay.
Just how you upload it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ask questions here and there for somebody who didn't know to show me here, like little stuff that I know.
Yeah, for like, for you, you doing the show, you pretty much, playing the tracks and, going to the next.
I'm always DJing the shows, but like people hire me as an actual DJ for the event or a party. So I've done DJing outside of the show.
Okay. So with Ohio going, legalizing full blown over the last year, so how has that impacted your business?
It made it more. Actually, it didn't really impact. I mean, it was more of a good impact than anything. It made it more affordable. So like, instead of paying $200 an hour, what people used to pay, it's way lower than that now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's everywhere. So like, the market is reset. So it's like what people used to pay for Reggie. It's kind of getting back to that. So it's not really as expensive. You can get better deals.
Right.
If you know what it's about.
Oh, absolutely. So that, and I noticed an explosion on cannabis events, whatnot. What's your take on those? And do you have any plans on doing any of those events?
I mean, I would love to do one. I mean, that's like my take on it is they don't. It's just you gotta find the people that actually want to do it instead of just because some people they talk about it. They don't. Really
What's the biggest challenge you think, or the biggest thing in the way? People that's talking about it versus actually getting into it, because people will talk your ear off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They talk you to death, but then when it's time to actually, you know what I'm saying?
It's the motivation of the individual. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, most of it is them talking about, and that's with anything. It could be the shows, it could be the vending, cannabis, whatever. Like I done told so many people over the last 4 or 5 years on how to get into it, how to do it, and they looked at me like, nah, I'm cool. And somebody actually told me I want to buy my weed in the dark alley. I don't want to go to no store online. I'm like, bro, you serious? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can get you this shit for almost half of what you paying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they like, nah, all right. Cool.
You know, one thing I notice about Cleveland is that when people start doing stuff or get into a rhythm, it's really hard to get them out of that.
Nobody wants to be the guy doing the new stuff.
Until the new stuff pop.
Yeah, like now, see, I've been doing this, I've been a cannabis vendor for 5 years. Now everybody want a dispensary.
Right. I have all on dispensary. It's like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like I would have been got me a brick and mortar, but I just didn't want to pay for no establishment.
Yeah, I mean, plus I haven't really, I know there's fees involved.
Yeah, and then like if I'm doing it by myself, then it's like,
do you need that?
Yeah, I need more than just me. I ain't want to wear myself out, so I just do it. I do it on my own time.
Right. Right. Do you think, as somebody that's in the cannabis business, do you think that the overall outlook on the cannabis business or this cannabis use, since it's legal in a lot of places, has changed, here and just really across the country? Because a lot of places it's, weed is legal.
Yeah. So, I mean, exactly what asked the question again?
So, do you think that the overall opinion on the cannabis as a business and actually as a way of life, do you think the outlook on it overall has changed, or people still?
Because I mean, it's a lot of jobs that don't even test for it anymore. Like you can't get fired no more,
right?
Unless you're doing like jobs like CDL jobs. You know what I'm saying? Police, like jobs that require for you not to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of that they don't even test no more. So
it's like it's legal now, so fuck it.
Yeah. If you're in the medical field, certain jobs you can't smoke.
Right.
But it's crazy how like cocaine can get out your system faster than marijuana, but they still want to, you know what I'm saying, test you like say for an example, a nurse could be on cocaine.
You'll never know.
Oxys and shit.
Yeah.
And get clean, pass a test. But for somebody who's smoking weed,
off a weekend bender.
Yeah, off of that work in the medical field, smoke weed, and fail and get fired. You know what I'm saying? That shit's crazy.
Yeah, but again, with the changes in the law, you got a lot of stuff changing up. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, things will tighten up. Now, for somebody that wants to actually break into, doing marketing, doing show promotions and stuff, what advice would you give the up-and-coming promoter or somebody that wants to break into it?
They gotta find a rhythm. Like it's everybody different. Like I don't do a traditional marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like it just depends on what kind of marketing you're good at. Like if you because marketing is wide. It's not just one thing. Like it's not just making a commercial and putting it on an ad, making an ad. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you good at in the marketing field. Like, 'cause it's so broad, you could find something that fits you. You know.
So basically, look for something that works for you.
Yeah, you can't, because that works the same way of anything though.
With trial and error.
Yeah,
you just gotta get into it.
Yeah, you just gotta do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when I started off teaching myself how to DJ, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to make a song blend into another one and try to, you know what I'm saying, make it smoothly go to the next song or party going type. You know what I mean? I know good music when I hear it already, but it's just trial and error. You just got to do and find what works.
Right. Right. You got any events coming up?
Well, I got one in Toledo in March, but I got my birthday coming up. It's just really more of a kick it. I do have a couple artists a few artists that want to perform, and they want to come show some love, perform, whatever. And cool with that. I'm gonna it's gonna be my birthday bash, Aquarius bash. I'm gonna have a couple comedians, some artists, free wine, and we're gonna have games there. We're gonna play games.
But like video games or like board games or both?
Like board games mainly. There's video games there, but I don't know if you feel like cutting them all or whatever. But it's board games like Giant Jenga, Big Connect 4.
Right.
All that type of shit. A drinking game if you want to play, whatever. All that kind of shit.
So you taking it back?
Yeah.
Taking it back to the house party, man. A lot of that's missing. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of that's missing because the family isn't the same. We're not. I would say it ain't necessarily just our community, but just America in general. With the families disconnected, so there's no Sunday dinners happening no more. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's why it's
none of that.
You got games and shit on your phone.
So it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
I'll play by myself, and you can play people all over the world. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then like a lot of people go to work and then they get off work, they tired, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't be wanting to bother with people and stuff. So they like, you know what, I'm just gonna play my game on my, system or phone, and then they don't want to be bothered.
So basically, technologies enable people to.
And then a lot of people grew up off this.
Yeah.
So think about, let me see.
Our kids' generation.
Yeah, 2010. About 2010 is when Facebook really started taking off.
Yeah,
I know MySpace and all that was going, but I mean, like, you still was really into the real world.
The change, yeah.
But now, you got IG, TikTok,
Twitch,
Snap. You got all the different shit, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like, you more on your phone than reality, you know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people, young people, don't care for it. They don't know about the game stuff unless it's on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Then they try it because they see it on the internet. They don't want to do what their parents do because their parents is older than them.
They're like, what you doing? That's a book?
I think it was with me one day. It was actually after we had radio, and I pulled out, it was a tape cassette there. And I pulled out the tape cassette. I said, I think the little dude was about 12 at the time. And I gave him the tape. He was like, no, what's this? I said, that's how we used to listen to music when I was young. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, what is it? I said,
we should have like a game where like we break out old stuff from the '90s, like a Woody Wood detachable face. Be like, what is this?
Yeah, right. And then
I'm like, I don't know.
I asked him. I asked the little homie the other day, like a week ago. I was like, man, what you know about the cartridges for the Sega and the Nintendo 64? You got to blow on it to make it work. We'll put it in the freezer. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't know nothing about it. I said, no. That's the crazy part. You don't know about the disc and the PlayStation.
They got the emulators skipping. Now.
Yeah, you don't know about the disc and the PlayStation skipping. You know what I mean? You get to download it straight to the game.
Yeah, play all the way through.
Yeah.
Play all the way through, man. That being said, man, we got to wrap it up. But, yo, Ray the Shark, man, thank you for stopping by, man. How can people get in touch with you?
You can hit me up on IG at Ray the Shark 4, RAYDASHARK, number 4. It's all one word, no spaces, no dots, none of that. And you can come to one of our shows. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on there. You'll see our shows. If you're an artist, you can book with us. We make it real easy. Just hit me in a DM. Follow me. I follow back. I'll probably send you a message to let you know when is the next event, if you want to be a part of it exactly. And we can rock from there.
All right. Thanks, bro. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yo, Quiet Test Media Show, we out.